Welcome to Fireside Giants. My name is Alex. Just watched this Giants versus Dolphins games, my friend. I mean, what more to say is that Mike Glennon might be the longest neck piece of shit quarterback I've ever seen in my life. The fact that the freaking coaching staff had the audacity to sit there and come to the conclusion that Mike Glennon was the right backup quarterback for this team blows my mind. He can't even manage the whatever left of semblance of a playbook that we have, from RPOs to running the football to the QB draws that Daniel Jones ran last week. Mike Glennon is like the exact opposite quarterback of Daniel Jones. I don't understand why he was our best option. I would have rather kept Colt McCoy. Go trade for Gardner Minshew, who's a young guy and may be able to do something. The fact that Mike Glennon is a backup in this league and not watching from a home on his couch blows my mind. He is so bad. It hurts to watch. This game was utterly painful. It pained me to sit through this game and watch one of the most inept offenses I think I've ever seen in my life. I mean, the defense, they played pretty sporadic. It was bad coverage at times. What more can you ask for to get for a defense that's on the field the entire time, losing 20-9? It's just so ugly every single time. I mean, the Dolphins, they're a decent team. They're not good by any means, but Mike Glennon, 187 yards, an interception, 53.9 quarterback rating after the first quarter. After that interception, double coverage, throw it up to Darius Slayton, see what happens. It makes no sense. Like, I really don't understand why you throw double coverage to Darius Slayton when you still have Kenny Galladay in the game. Saquon Barkley looks like an absolute shell of himself. 11 carries for 55 yards, along with 23, 5 yards per carry. He had that one carry for 23 yards, but otherwise he had 10 carries for 25, like 2.5 yards per carry. The guy is just washed. He looks slow. He looks hesitant. He doesn't look like he's trying to break open into the open field and actually do anything. It's just over and over again, we see the same stuff. The offensive line is still absolute garbage. Andrew Thomas had a good game. The pass protection was actually decent at times. Mike Glennon had a couple of situations where he was standing in the pocket waiting for guys to get open. Instead, he was taking sacks with ridiculous amount of time. I've never seen a quarterback from the Giants in the last 5-6 years with that much time in the pocket. So overall, this game, man, is just so bad, ugly. I can't believe we had to sit through this. I'm so sorry, guys. Like, I'm the same boat. I can't believe we had to sit through this and watch Mike Glennon play quarterback for that long. The game felt like it was 6 hours long, watching how the offense just stalled over and over and over and over again. It's just so ugly. But you know what? Like, this team at this point, my positivity really is coming from our draft capital, right? So the Bears lost to Arizona. We lost, we have 2 top 10, top 5 picks. It's really just a situation where the Giants need, I'll never say for the Giants to lose games. I'll never root for them to lose games. I'm not going to be one of those Eagles guys. Those, like, they did last year at the end of the season. End of the day, though, like, the Giants benefit from losing more at this point in the year. I'm not rooting for them to lose, but they ultimately do. And this is the problem, is that if you go and you fire Dave Gettleman, if he retires, if you get rid of him, another general manager, you can't force Joe Judge on a new GM. You have to hit the reset button. You got to break a clean break from this, man. Like, the timeouts, for the record, the timeouts that Joe Judge called in this game, it's so confusing, right? End of the first quarter, there's 6 seconds left. It's just going to go to the quarter. He calls a timeout so that it's not a delayed game. It was 2nd and 23 already. The drive was already done. It was over. It was stalled. He calls a timeout and wastes a timeout. It doesn't make any freaking sense to me. The Giants had 45 seconds, 1 timeout. They just had to run the ball and then, go to the half. It's just over and over again, poor decision-making from the offense. The coordinators, poor decision-making from Joe Judge. The timeout situation is just absolutely appalling. I don't understand how this continues to be a problem over and over and over again. And ultimately, the Giants at some point are going to have to say, is Joe Judge the right guy for this team? Is he the guy that we can trust? If we bring in a new general manager, can we actually trust him to be the guy that, like, leads this team to the future as the head coach? I don't know if we can anymore. I don't know if he's capable of being that. And at this point, I don't really trust any GM. It's just awful, right? I just can't believe that we have to sit here and really actually talk about this once again, that we have to fire another head coach. We have to keep another general manager. Like, we have to get a new GM, fire a head coach, figure out if it's going to be what the balance is going to be, like the power structure. A new GM should be able to come in here, just, go over, like, fire Joe Judge, because it ultimately is just a revolving door of who is it going to be, who can we blame this week, who can we blame this year, and every year there's a scapegoat. It was, Pat Shermer, and then now it was Jason Garrett, now it's Dave Gettleman. Is it going to be Joe Judge next year? Like, every year there's another scapegoat for the team looking like absolute dog shit, and Mike Glennon just is the cherry on top of all of it, just absolutely looking horrendous. And it's just really tough to watch, man. I mean, Kenny Galladay, the guy's made of glass. He suffered a rib injury in the first half, and his first catch. Just it never ends with these guys getting injured. Saquon Barkley, like I said, looks like a shell of himself. He looks hesitant, doesn't look strong. He doesn't look like he cares. He's nodding his head. He's questioning why he picked that gap or this gap. It's just over and over again. We're having the same issues here, guys. And the defense, I feel like if the offense was good, I feel like the defense could be decent. I feel like maybe the defense could really, really actually be a top unit if, the Giants actually had a competent offense for that matter. But at the end of the day, man, it's the same crap over and over again. 30 completions on 41 attempts, 244 yards, and 2 touchdowns. What really annoys me, though, is that over in Philly right now, they had Gardner Minshew start against the Jets, right? And like I said before, Mike Glennon had 187 yards. You go look at Gardner Minshew today, who was a backup, hasn't played a game all season long. He finished with 242 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's at the end of the day, and no interceptions. He looked good. 4 carries for 11 yards. Like, he did enough to score. He did enough to win. Pretty handily against the Jets. They scored 33 points. I think that's the most the Eagles have scored in a couple weeks. So I guess they posted 40 against the Saints 2 weeks ago. But like, when you have backups coming on and doing this, of course, a good offensive line helps. So there was times where the pocket was open. Mike Glennon had a clean pocket, and he just couldn't do anything with it. So it's just, this team is the epitome of atrocity. It's the epitome of failure. It's like, I feel like we're the Browns. When is this going to end? I have no idea, guys. I have no idea when this is going to end. They've, like I said a couple weeks ago, they've broken me at this point. Like, I don't enjoy watching the Giants anymore. I just do it because, I'm a diehard fan. So of course I'm going to keep watching. I'm going to keep watching even if they suck, and in hopes of anything and any positivity going forward. But they've taken a big step back this year. I mean, the injuries are just absurd. The fact that Dave Gettleman had the audacity to say, injured guys stay injured, and goes out and sign one of the most injury-prone receivers in Kenny Golladay. Like, he's the professional. He's supposed to know best. You go out and get, Kadarius Toney, who I love. He's had some injury history, in college with Florida. And, Daniel Jones has missed some time. He hasn't missed a game until this week, but ultimately he's been dealing with injuries the first couple of years. The ankle, the hamstring he suffered against Cincinnati. The concussion, he was not right against the Rams. It was very clear that he was rattled and shook. Like, this team just can't stay healthy. It's the play calling. It's the lack of, they don't care. The effort's not there. The bad decision making, the coaching staff putting them in a bad spot. There's no flow with the play calling. Like, they were running the ball really well, and they came back and they ran a wildcat with Saquon Barkley. It's like the stupidest shit. Like, why are you doing that? Like, what is the point of running a wildcat with Saquon Barkley when you just had 45 yards rushing in 2 plays the drive before, and you went and scored? I think they got a field goal out of it. But at least you went down and scored and got some points on the board. And, you did it through the running game. And they came in the next drive. They put Ben Bredeson in. It almost looks like they're trying to lose, but they really aren't trying to lose. I mean, then to top it all off, Joe Judge tries to kick a field goal, 14 seconds left in the fourth quarter. It's just absolutely horrendous. I mean, my word, if in the comment section on YouTube, guys, if you have one word to describe this loss for the Giants, let me know what it is, because mine, it's absolute atrocity. It's just from the neck, from Mike Glennon's neck down. It's absolutely awful, from the play calling to the coaching decisions to everything. It's just so bad. I mean, the fact that Joe Judge said in his opening press conference, we will play fast, we will play downhill, we will play aggressive, we will punch you in the nose for 60 minutes. None of those things have been true. They don't play fast. They play extremely slow. They don't play downhill. They're not aggressive. They don't go for it on fourth down enough. They don't try and get points when they have. Like, he fooled us, man. Like, he fooled the shit out of me. I'll tell you that right now. I'll never believe another quarterback, another GM or head coach ever again when they say things like, we're going to punch you in the nose for 60 minutes. Like, I'm never going to believe it again. I want to see it on the field. I want to see guys actually go and make something of their words and not just talk about shit. Oh, well, positivity, I have to check out the film. It's a bunch of nonsense, guys. It's nonsense. Like, he just speaks and nothing ever comes of it. And then again, just another cherry on top, like the freaking announcers in this game. Like, the guy must have taken meth before this game. Straight up, he was saying that Mike Glennon had a good game. He said that Lorenzo Carter was from Alabama and was a rookie. He called Mike Gesicki, or he called like one of the tight ends for Miami, Mike Gesicki, like 4 times. I don't understand like how they hired these guys and don't even know the players' names. They can't just obviously see the field and see Mike Glennon is missing open receivers. It is just absolutely horrendous. If Daniel Jones is forced to miss another game, give Jake Fromm the ball. Let the guy play. I mean, he's young. He doesn't even know the playbook. But again, I don't even know if we have a playbook. It looks like whoever's calling plays, Freddie Kitchens is reading it off a McDonald's diner menu. I don't understand like what is actually on that. I don't know if he's ordering griddles or if he's calling a running play. It's freaking ridiculous. But guys, as you can tell, I am very angry. I'm very upset. this is the only way to feel right now for a Giants fan. It's just absolute awfulness over and over again. But let me know what your word is. Let me know what you think of this team at this point. At this point in time, it's really, really ugly. We can only hope for positivity. But again, at the end of the day, it really boils down to, just draft capital. Now, the loss for the Giants, loss for the Bears, we're looking much better in the draft situation. But we'll see what happens in the future. We're still a couple of weeks away. Hopefully, it's hopefully the Giants don't win out, because that's something they would do, right? I mean, I'm never going to root for them to lose, like I said, but it's something the Giants would do is just like beating a good team. And you're like, wow, you can't beat Miami, you can't beat these crappy teams. You go out and you'll beat the Chargers, you'll beat the Raiders. It doesn't make any sense to me. But guys, hopefully you enjoy this episode. A little bit of ranting, a little bit of definitely negativity, but I think it's warranted at this point in the season. Hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. I hope you guys have a fantastic week ahead. We'll make some more content this week, of course, as always, and I'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Giants video. Make sure to subscribe below.